We're diving into a family story that unfolds over decades. It's about a devastating betrayal and a secret that was held for, get this, 43 years. This is a powerful look at what a father's silent sacrifice truly costs.
Yeah, those are the actual words of a 95-year-old man looking back on a life that was completely defined by one single impossible choice. See, he had a wife, 3 kids, a best friend, and because of a secret he was forced to keep, he lost all of them.
So you have to wonder, right? What secret could possibly be so powerful it could just erase an entire family? And after a whole lifetime of that sacrifice, was it even worth it? Let's break it down.
To really understand the weight of this secret, you have to see what was at stake. We need to go back to a time before everything changed, to a life that honestly felt completely unshakable.
I mean, it was the classic American story. Mr. Caldwell marries his sweetheart, Evelyn, back in 1955. They buy a house, he gets a steady job at General Electric, and they raise 3 wonderful kids. Their best friend, George, lives just 40 feet away. For 22 solid years, life was, well, it was perfect.
And then, one single moment. You know, an ordinary day that suddenly turns into the day that splits your life into a before and an after.
It all starts with every parent's worst nightmare. His 17-year-old daughter, Lily, is in a car crash. So he rushes to the hospital, of course, ready to do anything for her, even give her every last drop of his own blood.
The nurse comes back and her expression is unreadable. She tells him his daughter's blood type is O negative, and then she tells him his blood type, he's A positive.
And there it is, 4 words that just detonate his entire world. In the sterile quiet of a hospital hallway, he learns that the daughter he has raised and loved with all his heart for 17 years is not his.
He goes home that night and asks his wife just one single question. Who is Lily's father? Her answer begins a 43-year lie that he and he alone will be forced to carry.
And she doesn't even hesitate. She tells him it was George, his best friend, the man who lived right next door for 22 years. But believe it or not, the affair isn't what destroyed the family. It was the lie she told next.
And this put him in a completely impossible trap. To protect Lily from the truth, he had to stay silent, but his wife then used that silence against him, telling their 2 older children that he was the one having an affair. So while his children saw him as a villain, the reality was he was just protecting their sister, taking all the blame himself.
And the scale of this sacrifice is just staggering. 43 years. Just imagine that. For more than 4 decades, his own kids looked at him with contempt, all while he was guarding a secret that wasn't even his to tell. He basically lived like a ghost in his own home for decades. But secrets, especially ones that are kept in shoeboxes, well, they don't always stay buried forever. So decades go by, George, the neighbor, passes away, and then his widow shows up at the door with a shoebox. And inside, undeniable proof, love letters between her husband and Mr. Caldwell's wife dating all the way back to 1963. So, he has George's widow send the letters to his estranged children, Thomas and Patricia. And then the phone rings. It's his daughter, Patricia, and she calls him Daddy for the first time in 43 years. The truth is finally out. So, after a lifetime of silence, he's finally vindicated. But what does that really change? What's the real legacy of a choice like this? The reality, it's bittersweet. He has his 2 older children back. But Lily, who's now 61, she still doesn't know the truth. He's still protecting her. And her still calling him Dad? Well, that remains, in his own words, the only unbroken thing in his life. When it all comes down to it, this was never about biology. It was about his identity as a father, an identity he fought to protect for one child, even if it meant sacrificing it for his others. His final piece of wisdom, it's a pretty stark warning for all of us, isn't it? It's about the destructive power of pride and assumptions, a reminder that sometimes the truth just comes too late. This story leaves us with a really profound question. I mean, Mr. Caldwell sacrificed his own reputation and his relationship with 2 of his children to protect another. It makes you wonder, what is the real price of a secret? And when it comes to family, what truths are we willing to bury to protect the people we love?